Hey, Barbie movie people, my name is Dinus Mickle, and this is a public audition. Um, 10 years as a full-time single dad. Barbie movies, I reluctantly, very reluctantly, we watched, I think the first one we watched was 12 Dancing Princesses. And then I heard this, oh, 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 oh. And I was like, what? What? Oh, oh. Oh, oh, I'm like, wait a second, what's happening? I think there's like Mendelssohn in there, and like, it was, what is it, like the Czech Philharmonic Orchestra or something like that. I'm like, that's good. It sounds like it's being conducted. And we watched it, and my daughter took ballet for almost 8 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, so the music's good. I mean, for me, it's like the doll. It's like the whole body shaming thing, and then you're like, I think we watched Thumbelina next or something. She goes, "What makes you think you own me?" And you're like, oh my, that's right, Barbie. Nobody owns the living doll, and nobody owns my daughter either. It's my responsibility to raise her as best as I can, to give her the light of making good decisions, to choose between good, right, and wrong, right? Which is the one where they Thumbelina's the one where they saved their world in the little bush there. I think Pink Shoes was keep on dancing, keep on dancing. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find the little moment with me dancing. We just moved out from a bad situation. You know, we were in a new apartment and we watched Barbie and the Pink Shoes. Oh, and of course, who can forget Toy Story 3? Authority is, I'm going to see if I can remember it correctly. Authority is to be gained by the consent of the governed, not by the threat of force. This is an audition for real. Let me do a few voices, and then I'm going to say one of the most ridiculous things I've ever said in my life. It was at a bar. All right, so I'm gonna do a few voices, right? So let's say I can maybe be this kind of. Oh, I'm trying to become a monster. I'm a monster now. Okay, yes. And the printer voice. My daughter likes it. The printer, it prints and it prints. Clearly, I can do very high. I can do something like this. I'm not entirely convinced that all the men in Barbie movies are like men, right? Like those two guys that were like singing and we're singing and blah blah blah. I guess, right? I can definitely sing. I can play, so I can do music. I can do voices, and I will. So let's see. Do a few more directions of the voices that I can do. So all the way up here, all the way down there, and different kinds of accents, of course. We can say that there is very much to think, right? And then sort of dumb dogs. Hello, this is the dumb dog. I'm a doggy. Hello, I love you. I'm a doggy. Are you gonna pat my head? Oh, it's nice. Scratch my ear. Are you gonna scratch my? Oh, I show you my belly now. Oh. A talking dog maybe would be good for a Barbie movie. I'm a little talking dog. Oh yeah, here. I'm an annoying Dora doll, and I say the exact same thing every time you turn me on. I'm an annoying Dora doll, and I say the exact same thing every time you turn me on. What's your name? Can you say, I don't know, perpendicular? Anyway, so I was working on making enough money to make a fairly significant life change, and I was I was working with my laptop at a cafe. So I'd help Emmy to go to sleep. It was like between 8:30 and 9 or something, like around 8:40, something right before 9. I'd dash out to a cafe right after she fell asleep. And I would work until midnight. And one night, it was a Tuesday night. I really literally did this. There's this bar, right? And I kind of got to know the owners, but but I'm gonna go to a bar, right? But it's Tuesday and it seemed kind of lively in there, and there's music playing. And I sat down. I really, truly, honestly did this. I sat down at the bar, like, I want something really bitter, something bitter and spicy. Give me some kind of a drink with a lot of spice and bitterness. And the guy was like, okay. He's like this chemist. And it was, I don't even know what he was making. For me, it was really bitter and it was like some kind of medicine of some kind. It was really delicious. So he's like, okay, yeah, gotcha. He's going to make me something bitter. Okay. And then I turn and there's just 2 seats between me and this other man. And I go, you know, those Barbie movies aren't half bad. I'm like, okay. And he turns to me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't believe I said that to a man in a bar at 12:05 after midnight. Like, after midnight, we're going to let it all hang out, right? And you go, well, you know, those Barbie movies aren't half bad. And he was actually really gracious. He's like, oh, really? Like, well, actually, they're not that bad. I start telling him about Thumbelina saying, you know, what makes you think you own me? Toy Story 3 had not been out yet when she said authority is to be gained by the consent of the governed, not by the threat of force. I got up out of my chair. I had a beer. We had popcorn. And I'm like, yeah! And my daughter was like, Papa? So Barbie movies have been a part of our lives. She had this horrid roller skating fake Barbie remote control doll, and it could do the splits, and I thought it was really cool. And she was at a Waldorf kindergarten, and the Waldorf teachers were like, that's not Waldorf. They made her put it in the shoebox. They wouldn't let her take the fake Barbie roller skating doll that we got at like a flea market. It is such a, oh my God, talk about makeup. And another thing is that the Barbie movies aren't doing the body shaming thing. Like, what happened? Why is the team so good? And the movies are good. Like, they're good. You can really recommend them. And so if anybody else sees this, like, especially Thumbelina, 12 Dancing Princesses, and Barbie and the Pink Shoes, and clearly look at Nutcracker. Like, it's actually the Nutcracker, right? Yeah, Mermaid we watched. The first Mermaid Tale, I think, was better than the second one. I can't remember, though. You know, like, and then there's the Christmas one that was pretty good. Where's the Christmas one? I don't see the Christmas one. Oh, here it is. Barbie Perfect Christmas is not a bad movie, right? Simultaneously on Audition to the Barbie music crew, if anybody knows the people working for it, working for Mattel, making these movies, you've done a really reasonable job. It's not body shaming. The moral I would say fortitude, if that's the correct word. I've been living in Europe for a while. There's actually, you know, when you get to the end, the moral of the story is, or for Thumbelina, the moral of the story is no matter how small you are or how, you know, you're your own soul, and no one owns you, right? You speak for yourself and for your own life and for your own character. And you can design your own life, and no one else has authority over you, especially over your body. That's pretty powerful stuff. I'm not a super duper award-winning composer, but I'm an award-winning composer, singer-songwriter. I teach songwriting as well. And do voices, and would like to be considered for the upcoming Barbie movies, musically and as a vocal talent. I mean, I have a double degree in English and rhetoric. There's a bunch of different degrees, so it's not that important. But even some kind of score revision and reading, smoothing out some texts, finding some jokes, maybe building in some sort of special moments. A lot of times when I'll watch movies, I'll think, oh, it would have been so funny if this and that had happened. So, okay. So simultaneously, thumbs up for the Barbie movie scene and an audition to be involved with upcoming Barbie movies. Thank you so much. Get in touch, dynast.net, right? Just get in touch. I'm easy to find. Take care. Bye.